The man with me is quite familiar with everyone, especially with the Indian fans. Morne Morkel, thank you so much. It was an interesting experience with this women's cricket team.
I wouldn't say interesting. I've enjoyed my 2 days so far. It's fantastic to be part of the White Fern squad. For me as a young coach, I'm learning a lot. And yeah, it's great to see how they go about things and how professional they are. And yeah, especially with our squad, the last sort of couple of days has been amazing.
You are perhaps the best person to answer this. A lot of people think, especially the fans, difference between men's cricket and women's cricket, the standard. You have been part of some very successful teams, IPL and all that. How do you look at the standard of play, especially in T20 format?
For me, it's just sort of looking at the women's cricket the last 3-4 years. It's definitely on the rise. The players are getting better each year, powerful each year. So yeah, I think it's a fast-growing sport, and it's great to see. And for us to get involved now and sort of try and help and make a difference is also important. I think from ex-players and everyone I've spoken to, they've enjoyed every time they've worked with in the women's game. So for me, it's going to go from strength to strength, and it's great there. It's amazing to be part of it.
You're not any stranger to India, but India has been somehow strangely reluctant embracer of the women's game. But now finally they have. Do you think that the concept of WPL is going to change the game completely?
Yeah, I mean, for them to get better, they need to play more cricket. Strength versus strength, good competitive cricket, and the more they play, the better their game is going to grow. So the IPL, women's IPL coming out, the women's BBL, those are all platforms that will give the girls opportunities to grow and to learn their game. And I think I'm a big supporter of that. And yeah, hopefully we can see more tournaments now, maybe a South African league starting up and giving the girls the opportunity to learn.
So how do you rate this Indian teams? I know they are not in your group, but when you look at this current Indian team, how do you rate their chances in this World Cup?
They've always been there, in finals and playoffs, and they know how to play those big moments. I think the conditions here in Paarl, Cape Town, and PE is going to suit them. It's sort of lower, slower sort of surfaces, which are going to play into their strength. But I think for any team, once you can get into that final, semi-final spot, anything is possible. So just imagine. It's getting through the group stages, and then on semi-finals days, anything can happen.
Morne, just a couple of questions on some of the male cricketer, because now you are coach. When you see someone like Mohammad Siraj, his progress from just purely as a red ball player to all format player, how challenging it is, and how do you see his progress?
Look, I don't think, for me, going from red ball and white ball cricket, yes, the white ball game has gone to another level, but all those guys are so skillful. I think for me that it's just a matter of still trying and doing the basics well in white ball cricket. Yes, you need to think on your feet. Yes, you need to come up with one or two a couple of game plans. But I think these guys are fantastic. Fantastic skills, and it was great to see Siraj sort of taking his white ball game and developing, especially at the death bowling. Doing well with that. And yeah, for IPL, that's the best platform to learn your cricket. It's a fantastic standard. You play, against good quality oppositions on batter-friendly surfaces. So as a bowler, to learn your trade and to up your skills, there's no better platform than IPL.
You have been a top-class bowler yourself, but juggling across the format, then fitness issues has never been easy for a bowler's life. Jasprit Bumrah is going through the same stage. How do you look at it? Will it, because he's out of all the 4 test matches against Australia, how easy or difficult it will be for him to become the same Jasprit Bumrah again?
Look, any fast bowler in his career will face a stage where you need to manage him well. For India, luckily they've got heaps of fast bowling options, and I think when Jasprit is back and fit, it's going to be important for them to identify sort of windows. Test series for him that they can bring him back in, because he's a world-class performer, and we want him to be back and fully fit and playing. So to him we wish him a speedy recovery. But yeah, I think as a fast bowler, it's a taxing on your body, and he's bowled a lot of overs in his career so far. So for me, the most important thing will be to manage him well.
My final question, Morne, who has been one Indian fast bowler from any era, past, previous, current, IPL, who has impressed you most with his skill, speed, or you just think that he is the complete Indian fast bowler?
Look, for me, I've always been a big fan of Mohammed Shami. I think the way he presents the seam, the way he can swing the ball, he's dangerous at the death end. For me, he's been exceptional. Even on these surfaces in South Africa, he was one of the bowlers we've spoken. We spend a lot of time talking about him. So for me, Shami has been right up there, with one of the best fast bowlers.
Thank you so much, Morne, for talking to us, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.